Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today we have got an absolute atomic bomb of information dropped on us by Nexon for the uh, update today, September 26th, and for the update on the 10th of October. We are live on Twitch reading through this right as the update drops. So if you guys would like to check me out on Twitch, above you'll see my tag, and then below in the description you can come stop by. But we are going to jump right in, and I'm going to try to not read too fast, not go too quick, but I also want to make sure to get some of the important bits. So this might be a semi-longer video. We're going to start with the actual hotfix notes. So this is for 1.1.3. We're going to go over these, and I will go over some of the skins that came out as well at the very end of the video if you guys would like to see those. But let's hop in without wasting any time. I just want to go right into it because I think this might be a little long. So we're going to start off with the content improvements. So good news is you can now start the public operations in the invasion. So all this means is you can multiplayer matchmake the invasions. So the number of monsters increases depending on the number of participants. Interacting with the drone now makes other drones despawn. Basically a few things to make it a little bit more multiplayer friendly. And then expanded terrain, it looks like they just increased the width of the void fragment farming here. So I think they might have nerfed this void farm quite substantially by doing this. I believe this is the bunny cave. So they even kind of trolled us by having a little picture of bunny here. So I don't know if this is going to be good anymore. I don't know how many people are actually still doing this. I think it was probably still a good option for like AFK Netflix farming, but definitely probably nerfed. Snipers have been placed. And then that bunny cave RAP 2024 to 2024. Traps in certain dungeons have been modified or deleted. So Sterile Land, Agna Desert, White Knight Gulch, all these different dungeons here you can see. I will have a link to the patch notes in the description of the video. Quick water. Okay, and then the amount of HP orbs and ammo dropped by scout monsters roaming in the field has increased. It's a really weird small update. Okay, so this is the big one. I'm going to kind of glance over these Descendant changes. I want you guys to definitely read these for yourself and kind of, especially if you main them. I have not played a lot of Kyle or Freyna. However, I really, really want to play Freyna. I'm very excited to, as with all of you guys, I'm sure, because Ultimate Freyna obviously coming out soon. However, the one thing I want to highlight with Freyna's changes, so first off, sorry, before I get too ahead of myself, Eugen's Hyperactive Healing Ground now heals HP after granting Purification rather than before. And then here's the improved certain skills of Freyna, Kyle, and Esiemo. So Freyna basically got an entire rework for her dots. The way that her dot works now is there's 4 different instances of her dot. It basically says so in each one of these tooltips. So it says it right here. This is simultaneously with Panic, Despair, Decay, and Nightmare. Basically, each skill of the 4 skills applies one of these 4 dots. So, your first ability is going to apply Panic. Second ability is going to apply Despair. Third ability is Decay. Fourth, Nightmare, etc. It could not be in that exact order, but each ability is going to do a different dot. They can all be on the target at the same time. And basically, you're just going to be ticking targets down. The abilities were changed. The Freyna got basically not a giant rework, completely ground up rework, but she got a mini rework as far as how she's actually going to work. This is going to be pretty nice. I know people are still going to wait to play Freyna until October 10th, obviously, because that's when the Ultimate comes out. But I'm actually looking forward to at least going in with regular Freyna because I did put an energy activator into her at the very beginning of the game before I knew that Ultimate Freyna was going to be the next Ultimate. But that is Freyna, and we had some pretty big changes for her. So that's the base. I know there's a few more changes. I'm not going to go over every single one, but a really, really big change for Freyna. If you're interested in playing Freyna at all, I've definitely go and check these out and see how they affect in-game and definitely test it out in-game. But yeah, a very, very solid change for Freyna. Now, Kyle also got a similar change. All of his abilities 1, 2, 3, and 4. It looks like the big change out of here is superconductive bombing and superconductivity thrusters got a giant, it says right here, greatly increased damage. And they might have fixed the bug, it sounds like, with the superconductive bombing, where it wasn't really working properly and wasn't doing the damage, soaking up the magnetic bar to do as much damage as it could be. Now it's just a static value instead of a percentage. And then also they just did a bunch of changes to the range. The cooldown has been increased on a few of these. Cooldown is decreased on the first ability, but the second and third ability has their cooldown increased. However, they become a little bit more powerful and they scale with shield way more and they buff people. So Passionate Sponsor is probably going to be an option for Kyle because of this, if it wasn't already. Like I said, I haven't played a lot of Kyle, but definitely check out these notes for Kyle. Now, the one I'm going to spend a little bit more time on because I've been spending a lot of time on him, especially today on stream. So Esiemo, he got giant changes, probably the same as, you know, Freyna, not quite the same level of Freyna, and I think Kyle's a little bit less than this, but we're gonna go over this. So his passive, adventitious habit. So the effect is now triggered when you are hit instead of when your shield is depleted. Using skills now reduces the cooldown of adventitious habit by a certain amount and increase the base cooldown of it. So this is just whenever you would deplete your shield, you would drop a mine. Now you're going to drop a mine whenever you get hit, and you're also going to be spamming your skills to decrease the cooldown that it has now a greater cooldown of. So hopefully that's not like too high. I still think that explosive evade is probably going to be the Transcendent mod you use, and this is kind of going to be, unless like, obviously if you're running one of the ultimate ability builds, you're going to keep this, but a small change, a pretty decent rework for that, as the shield depleting is kind of crazy every time. I mean, you could just run the 1 HP mod or 1 shield mod and have it deplete every second, but that wasn't really worth it. So time bomb skills can now be used. This is huge. Skills can now be used while sprinting and after the cast delay, or sorry, the after cast delay has been adjusted. So the projectile speed has also been slightly increased. So literally, Esiemo next bunny? No, not really. Probably not. Nobody will probably be like Bunny, but this is pretty insane. All of his skills are going to be able to be used while sprinting. So this is very, very nice. The quality of life of Esiemo went through the roof with this one, because before you would literally just be like, whenever you'd press your mind, you'd go down to like 10 movement speed and you would just be slow. So that's really, really nice. And then Blast and Cluster Bomb. So you can now switch to other actions earlier when using the skill. So whenever he does his little hand thing to blast all his bombs, or the Cluster Bomb, which was useless Transcendent mod, and I believe it's about to be insane because they changed it completely. This animation ends earlier, so there's no animation canceling for this. I've tested it. There's no way to animation cancel Esiemo at all. I'm sure many other people have tested it, but this animation can be canceled earlier now, and you can go back into spamming your abilities. No longer costs MP, and the cooldown has been decreased. So it was already like a 1 second cooldown with max cooldown recovery. Now it's even better. So yeah, this is, I'm gonna be doing a ton of Esiemo playing on stream today. If you're live watching, I will be live literally probably as you're watching this video right now. We're gonna be playing Esiemo a lot first. But yeah, I'm really excited to try this. The blast skill is now affected by more bombs and increase the damage based on the number of bombs. So it was a 25% buff per bomb up to 5 bombs. Really interested in finding out how much this is. This is going to be pretty insane. If it's above the 125%, the 125% was already massive. He definitely needed this buff. He absolutely needed this buff. However, I'm really interested in finding this one out. The explosives that spawn upon using the cluster bomb skill now explodes earlier than before, and the number and damage of explosives have been increased, and the explosion range has been reduced. This is sad because the explosion range has been reduced. However, cluster bomb is, we're gonna go over cluster bomb in a second because they totally changed it. Or no, it looks like they don't actually go over cluster bomb here. So cluster bomb basically was changed so that it is increased based on the number of bombs. Before that, it did not have any benefit to the number of bombs you had, and that alone is a change worth using it for mobbing, especially when it applies. It always applies a burn, which is incredible, and then it's just basically increased damage on it. So cluster bomb is actually going to be usable now. Depends on which mod's going to be the best as far as Transcendence, but it's actually at least going to be something that you can put on and it actually does something. Whereas before, you were literally cutting your damage by like a fifth. You were doing about a fifth of the damage. But now on to the guided landmine. Skill can now be activated while moving. You could not do this before. He would stop, slam a mine down on the ground, and stop for like, I think it was like a whole second even. You would be stopped, dead stopped. You can perform other actions when using the skill quicker than before. So Esiemo is going to be the new carpal tunnel speedrunner, apparently, because you're going to be able to spam all of your abilities extremely fast and just do a ton of burst. I'm so excited to play Esiemo tomorrow. It's actually crazy. Really, really looking forward to this. An attached bomb now takes longer to automatically explode. This is actually good because if you let the bombs actually explode without pressing your blast button, your second ability, they would do less damage. And this means you can stack more bombs to get more burst damage. And I'm really interested to see how many bombs we can stack with max cooldown before we start breaking the game. I imagine they probably made this so we're not gonna be able to break the game with, 50 bomb explosions, but it's still gonna be interesting to find out what we do. Slightly increase the travel speed of installed guided landmines towards enemies, and guided landmines can also be exploded with blast. I don't know what this means. It must be some kind of mistranslation. I don't know what installed guided landmines are, and they could also be exploded with blast before. So I'm guessing that's probably when they're on the ground, maybe not on an enemy. But we'll see when I'm doing some more testing on this. Okay, so Arc Explosion, his ultimate ability, simplified the skill animation, and now you are immune to knockback and knockdown while using the skill. Very interested to see what this means. Simplified skills animation. So obviously you did like a big sumo jump and it would take like 2 seconds before you could start running. So we're going to see what that means. I imagine that probably means they sped it up and it's actually just like instantly start sprinting now, hopefully, because it was kind of silly before. I think it should still stay silly because Esiemo is kind of silly, but also it should be a little bit more playable. Increase the duration of the buff that you get at the end. It says that its effect now includes an increase in skill power, except for it already did. It just wasn't in the tooltip before. So I'm interested to see if, because it was 25% skill power buff. If you guys didn't know that, it's a 25% skill power buff, and I'm curious if it still is. I haven't done any testing yet. If it is, then it hasn't changed at all. They just added it to the tooltip. But yeah, it's nice that they increased the duration of it because that's actually quite nice. And then Explosive Evade. This is the first Transcendent mod and the best Transcendent mod in my opinion. Increase the maximum number of guided landmines that can be installed. So my guess is I didn't even know there was a cap before, honestly. I thought it was just as much as your cooldown will let you get off. So I don't know, but that's good. Explosive Propaganda. This is the taunt ability, so you can use the skill while moving. The skill can be stacked and the cooldown has decreased slightly. So it used to have 1 HP and it used to get one-shotted. Now it doesn't have 1 HP. It scales off of Esiemo's HP and def, and its damage has been slightly reduced. So what that means is this thing is actually worth running if you're like a Giga Tank and I don't know if it's going to work on Colossi or how it works because I've never run it, but this thing is probably going to be actually worth slotting into a Transcendent slot if you're doing some kind of cheese build for maybe the new 400% infiltrations teaser. That's a teaser for the next video. Keep a lookout for the Dev Note 14 that just launched as well. I'm going to be launching that video around the same time. And then, yeah, so anyway, that's nice. Creative Explosion. Simplify the skills animation, just like we did with Arc Explosion and knockback, knockdown, blah, blah, blah. Number of bombs that affect the blast skill when equipped with the Creative Explosion skill module has been increased. Decrease the skill power modifier increase per stack and increase the duration of madness. So this was actually called Narcissism. It wasn't called Madness. To be clear, it is a different buff than Arc Explosion gives you. It gave you a 20%. The tooltip said 20% cooldown decrease. It was actually a 40% cooldown reduction. So again, with the tooltip effect, I'm guessing they just fixed the tooltip. They did not actually increase the cooldown reduction. I want to be clear on that. And then as far as the bombs, the number of bombs that affect the blast skill, that was bugged and completely not working at all with this. And now hopefully it's not bugged anymore and it is working. Because if not, then it's just, this is not worth taking at all. The skill power modifier was useless because it's a 5,000% modifier already. So it stacked like 33% times 5 or something like that, which is an extra like 159% or 165%, whatever that is. Compared to 5,000%, that's like nothing. So done with Esiemo. I know that was a long one. I'm just really excited to work on him. We're going to go into weapons and modules. So 2 new modules. I'm going to take a quick swig water real fast. Okay, so 2 new modules have been added. Bio Sync Shield and Last Stand. So reduces HP recovery from HP orbs by a certain amount instead heals the shield by the set amount. So basically what this does, instead of picking up HP mods, you're going to be picking up shield mods. They're still going to look like HP mods, but they're going to recover a certain portion of your shield instead of your HP. I think that's not good enough. We need better, but we'll see what happens with it. It might be broken. Just at the top of my head, it doesn't seem that good. This one seems insane though. So Last Stand, when using a skill to attack enemies, consumes all of your shield to deal additional damage equivalent to a certain percentage of the total damage. Kyle. The additional damage has a base value, and the value increases based on the amount of shield consumed. Kyle. After activation, recovers shield by a certain percentage of max shield every second for a certain period of time. It has a cooldown. So Kyle. I think this is probably going to be a Kyle mod and an Ajax mod. Other than that, Dead on Arrival probably. But I don't know much about anybody other than Lepic, Bunny, and maybe like a little bit about all the other guys. Yeah. Okay, next. UI improvements. They moved the mailbox next to the storage over next to the useless trader here. This guy right here, which is really nice. It used to be over here completely far. It was next to the fast travel, and now it's over here. That's great. That's beautiful. Also, max capacity up modules now display capacity with the plus sign in the module UI, so that's quality of life. You can check recommended stats for each intercept battle. Ultimate weapons will no longer be filtered as junk, regardless of the exclude from junk settings. Recommended stats include weapons, DPS, all this stuff. This is all like very small quality of life stuff, except this one. You can now set whether to run or sprint by default for movement and game options. Why was this not in the game from the start? Nobody knows, but it's here now, and we are rejoicing. Nexon, thank you. Thank you. Nexon, thank you. Controller changes for console players. Terrain damage in every field now reduces shield first instead of HP, so the lava's not going to kill you if you still have shield. That's a fantastic change. Yeah. Oh, this one's actually kind of interesting. So spawn settings have been moved to the Descendant skins menu. So each Descendant's going to be able to have their own spawn, but that's kind of an L change, and we'll go into why in just a sec when we're at the bottom of this list. Okay, now optimization for console. I don't know how much this is actually going to mean. It seems like their optimization changes are never on par with what they're actually saying they're doing, but yeah, frame generation improvements and changes for console, all this good stuff. Yeah, we'll see how that actually goes. Let me know in the comments below if that actually helped you guys at all or what's going on with that. Okay, miscellaneous. So the new feature for the cinematics, basically you can go in and watch these cinematics. You don't have to finish any missions. You just go and click on a little echo and you'll be able to watch the cinematic with your own Descendants current customization, paint, skin, ultimate or not. You'll be able to see a higher quality version of your Descendant in a more higher graphics fidelity mode, I guess you would say. That's kind of what the director's comment says here. Basically just like a higher fidelity mode, and you'll be able to see and take screenshots of your Descendant. We're going to test that for some thumbnails for sure. Exciting. So last little bit, which is what we are going to show you guys in the game, is the Ultimate Lepic and all ultimate skins basically. So the ultimate skins have been updated. We're actually going to launch the game right now, and we're going to go take a look at those skins really fast, because I'm actually excited. This is going to be the first time that I've actually seen them, but a bunch of new skins, and then a very big L change, the only L change in the update, and it's really not even that much of an L, but the back attachment and spawn included in the premium Ultimate Descendant bundle are exclusive to their corresponding Ultimate Descendant and cannot be used by other Descendants. I think that means that we're not going to be able to use bunny wings on other Descendants anymore, and I'm lagging out because I'm starting TFD, but we're going to change this display capture over to TFD. And we go. Like that. Super fluid and super professional transitions. Over to TFD. We're going to go check out these skins real fast, and that'll be the end of the video. There was some bug fixes. You guys can check those out. Like I said, I'm going to have the description. I'm going to be putting that in the description. And then I appreciate anybody who stayed this long. And if you guys want to check out some skins, we'll do that really fast as I load up and in. And it looks like chat is talking about how much the Enzo might be broken with his shield. Yes, I did not think of that. That shield mod might break Enzo. You're correct. That shield mod may break Enzo as well. Okay, preparing shaders. What is happening down here? Okay, let's check out these new skins. Let's see what we got. Okay. Premium Ultimate Descendant. Where are the new skins? Oh my god. There's only 3. So we have Freyna's Vulgus Slayer. That's actually kind of sick. Yes. It's only 750. 1 times per account. That's kind of weird. Vampire Glay. Yep, we've all been waiting for it. We've all been waiting for it. Nice. And then Valby's Glowing Frog. I don't play Valby a whole lot, but there it is. Very cool skins. And it looks like they are saying that the premium bundles have changed. Oh, yes, they have. Oh, yes, they have. Okay. That's my main, so I'm probably going to buy that at some point. Not the... Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, we'll move on. I'm sorry about that. All right. Okay, let's check out Viesa. One-sided wings. Oh my god. That actually looks so clean. They're actually going to drain my bank account. Agreed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's check out Ajax. Yeah, okay. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Sweet spawn. Sweet back. Okay, let's check out. Oh god. This is not gonna be good. Interesting. That's tame. Honestly, that's tame. That's cool though. Yeah. Oh, that's sick. And you get a little bunny backpack. That's actually so sick. Okay. That's pretty cool. I luckily you don't need to actually spend only 1,050 if you just want the skin. Obviously, if you want the back bling and the spawn, yes, you do have to pay 30-50 if you already have the Descendant, so quite a lot. However, very, very cool. Let's move on to Glay. We got some wings. It's a little okay, so devil inspired. What's the spawn like? And it's a vampire Glay. I mean, these wings are sick. It's so sad that you can't use these on other Descendants. It's actually demoralizingly sad that you cannot use these on other Descendants. I think I understand why. It's because they wouldn't fit right, kind of like the ones from the Battle Pass don't fit right on most Descendants, but just let us do it. And what's this? Okay, no, this is the same because Valby just came out. Okay, so all those are gorgeous. That's exciting. Premium skins, 3 added. I think that's it as far as the skins go. Yep. Yeah, that's it. And we go back to, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go do the Dev Note 14. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. This is super exciting. I'll see you guys in the first Senate and on stream, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Link in the description below for the Twitch. Maybe. I don't know. Either way. Goodbye.